You are working harder than you have ever worked in your life, yet your bank account feels like a bucket with a hole in the bottom. You pour effort, time, and stress into the top, but the level never rises. It's the most frustrating feeling in the modern world. It hurts. You see money come in and then, through unexpected expenses, emergencies, or poor decisions, it vanishes before it can accumulate. You feel like you're running on a treadmill, sweating and exhausted, but remaining in the exact same geographic location of scarcity. Napoleon Hill, the great philosopher of success, discovered a terrifying but liberating truth about this condition. He found that most people aren't poor because they lack the ability to earn. They're poor because they are unknowingly leaking their vital spiritual energy. Just as a battery with a corroded seal cannot hold a charge, a mind riddled with fear and indecision cannot hold wealth. Today, let's inspect your spiritual vessel. We are going to find the crack in your foundation, and we are going to apply the ancient wisdom of Napoleon Hill to seal that leak forever. To understand why you feel drained and why your resources seem to evaporate, look at the metaphysics of energy leakage. Napoleon Hill taught that money is merely a physical manifestation of a spiritual energy. It's the residue of your thought habits. If your internal world is chaotic, your external financial world will be a reflection of that chaos. This diagnosis is ancient, and it predates even the wisdom of Hill. In the book of Haggai, chapter 1, verse 6, the scripture describes this exact phenomenon with chilling accuracy. It says, "You have sown much, and bring in little. You eat but do not have enough. You drink but you are not filled with drink. You clothe yourselves but no one is warm. And he who earns wages to put into a bag with holes." Think about that image. Actually visualize it. A bag with holes. This isn't a problem of income, it's a problem of containment. You can pour millions of dollars into a bag with holes and you will still end up empty. The hole, according to Napoleon Hill, is often created by the vibration of fear. In the book of Job, chapter 3, verse 25, we find another profound metaphysical law. "For the thing I greatly feared has come upon me, and what I dreaded has happened to me." Fear is not just an emotion, it is a magnetic force. When you constantly worry about losing money, when you stress about debt, you are literally energizing the hole in your pocket. You are directing your creative power toward the very outcome you are trying to avoid. Napoleon Hill identified that this leakage happens primarily through the mind. When you allow your mind to dwell on poverty, misery, and lack, you are leaking the creative fuel that infinite intelligence has given you to build wealth. Every moment you spend in resentment, every hour you spend in worry, and every conversation you have where you complain about the economy, you are widening the tear in the bag. You are telling the universal substance that you are a vessel of loss, not a vessel of accumulation. Most people believe that to get rich they need to find a new job or a new investment. However, Hill would argue that if you don't patch the spiritual leak first, the new job will only bring new ways to lose money. Stop the drainage of your vital life force. Understand that your energy is your capital. Before you can invest dollars, you have to learn to invest your attention. If your attention is leaking into fear, your money will inevitably leak into debt. This is the law. The universe fills the container you present to it. If you present a broken cup, you will never quench your thirst, no matter how much it rains. With the leak identified, let's look at the power source. Napoleon Hill often spoke of the mastermind, which is the coordination of knowledge and effort between two or more people for the attainment of a definite purpose. But there is also an internal mastermind, a spiritual battery within you. When this battery is fully charged and sealed, you become magnetic. People are drawn to you. Opportunities find you. Money sticks to you. But when this battery is leaking, you repel the very things you desire. One of the most profound and often misunderstood concepts Hill introduced to stop this leakage is the mystery of sexual transmutation. In his seminal work, Think and Grow Rich, Hill dedicated an entire chapter to this subject because he realized it was the primary source of genius and high achievement. Sexual energy is the most powerful creative force in the human body. It's the raw material of creation. Most men and women dissipate this energy through physical excess, or more commonly, through the mismanagement of their emotions. They allow this high-octane fuel to burn off in fits of jealousy, envy, and frustration. Hill taught that this energy has to be transmuted. That means it must be changed from a physical desire into a higher vibrational desire, such as the desire for financial freedom, artistic creation, or professional excellence. When you feel that surge of intense energy, instead of wasting it or letting it leak out through distraction, direct it into your definite chief aim. A person who has mastered sexual transmutation has plugged the biggest energy leak in the human system. They have turned their body into a dynamo of productivity. Consider the great inventors like Thomas Edison. He was known for his incredible stamina and ability to focus for days on a single problem. This wasn't just willpower, it was transmuted energy. He didn't let his vital force leak out through trivialities. He channeled it all into the filament of the light bulb. When you are leaking energy, you feel tired, uninspired, and cynical. This is because your battery is dead. You've allowed your creative force to escape. Hill reminds us that enthusiasm is nothing more than this vital energy flowing through a focused mind. If you lack enthusiasm for your work, it's because you have a leak. You are letting your power drain away into negative thoughts or aimless activities. To become wealthy, become a reservoir of power. Guard your energy as a miser guards his gold. Don't let people annoy you. Don't let news terrify you. Don't let failure dishearten you. Every emotional reaction is an expenditure of energy. Ask yourself, is this reaction making me richer or is it making me poorer? If it's draining you, it's stealing from your future fortune. Here is the psychological trap keeping that hole ripped wide open. In modern behavioral economics, this is called loss aversion. The pain of losing is psychologically twice as powerful as the pleasure of gaining. Napoleon Hill understood this decades ago. He saw that the fear of poverty was actually the primary cause of poverty. When you are focused on what you might lose, you are in a defensive posture. You are contracting, and you cannot receive abundance when you are spiritually contracted. This leads us to the wisdom of Andrew Carnegie, the man who commissioned Hill's work. But it was in the controversial manuscript Outwitting the Devil where Hill truly exposed the root of failure. In his interrogation of the devil, Hill identified drifting as the ultimate weapon against humanity. A drifter is someone who permits their mind to be influenced and controlled by circumstances outside of themselves. They don't have a mind of their own. They accept whatever life hands them. Drifting is the ultimate energy leak. When you drift, you have no boundaries. You have no definition. You are like a ship with no rudder and a hull full of holes. The ocean of life enters you and sinks you. Hill's conclusion was clear. The only way to stop drifting is through definiteness of purpose. Decide exactly what you want and refuse to accept anything else. When you have a definite purpose, you create a psychological seal around your mind. You become airtight. When fear tries to enter, it hits the wall of your purpose and bounces off. When distraction tries to steal your time, your purpose rejects it. This is the remedy. The law of assumption works here as well. Assume the state of the person who has already arrived. A wealthy person doesn't worry about leaking money because they are confident in their ability to generate it. They operate from a state of fullness, not a state of lack. If you are constantly checking your bank account with a pit in your stomach, you are drifting into fear. You are affirming the leak. Stop this immediately. Replace that action with a new habit. Replace the fear of loss with the expectation of gain. This isn't just positive thinking, it's energetic engineering. You are repairing the vessel. You are telling infinite intelligence, I am ready to receive, and I am strong enough to hold it. Until you do this, no amount of hard work will save you. You will continue to work, and the bag will continue to leak. Become a non-drifter. Be the captain of your soul and the master of your fate. So, how do we apply this profound wisdom to the 21st century? We live in an age of infinite distraction, where our attention is harvested by algorithms and advertisements every second of the day. This is the modern version of the energy leak. Every time you scroll mindlessly through social media, feeling envy for the lives of others, you are opening the valve and letting your power drain out. You are giving your creative energy to a screen instead of your own destiny. Here is a technique we might call the Seal of Solomon, metaphorically speaking. In ancient traditions, the seal represented closing the loop, making the vessel holy and whole. In practical terms, this means closing the energetic loops in your life. Earl Nightingale, who was deeply influenced by Hill's philosophy, famously said in The Strangest Secret that we become what we think about. If you think about your debts, your leaks, and your failures, you are sealing yourself into a reality of lack. To stop the leak, audit your inputs. What are you reading? Who are you listening to? If you are listening to people who complain, you are absorbing their poverty vibration. Seal your mind against the negative influences of the world. This is what Hill meant by the Mastermind alliance, surrounding yourself only with those who charge your battery, not those who drain it. In your modern financial life, this looks like automating your savings so you don't have to make emotional decisions about money. It looks like turning off the news so you don't absorb the collective fear of the world. It looks like focusing intensely on service. Henry Ford became the richest man of his time, not because he worried about money, but because he focused entirely on providing a service that the world needed. He closed the door on competition and focused on creation. Treat your attention like a flashlight in a dark room. Wherever you point it, that is where your life will go. If you point it at the hole in the bucket, the hole gets bigger. If you point it at the overflowing fountain of universal supply, the flow increases. Be disciplined. Be relentless. You have to be the guardian of the gateway of your mind. Don't let any thought enter that doesn't pay rent. If a thought comes to rob you of your peace, evict it immediately. This is how you stop the leak. This is how you build the pressure required for the breakthrough. We've diagnosed the problem and we've found the cure. Now let's integrate this into a protocol that you can use immediately to change your life. We will call this the Energy Containment Protocol. There are 3 steps you need to take to stop leaking and start accumulating. Step 1 is the identification of the fear. Look at your financial situation and ask yourself, where am I acting out of fear? Where am I hoarding out of a scarcity mindset or spending to soothe an emotional wound? Identify the hole in the bag. Acknowledge it without judgment, for judgment only wastes more energy. Simply observe it. Step 2 is the transmutation of the impulse. When you feel the urge to worry or the urge to drift into distraction, catch yourself. Use the power of your will to redirect that energy. Say to yourself, I am transmuting this energy into wealth. I am directing this power toward my definite chief aim. Napoleon Hill taught that self-discipline is the master key to riches. This is the moment you turn the key. Step 3 is the sealing of the vessel through faith. Cultivate an absolute, unshakable faith that infinite intelligence is supporting you. We look to the ultimate example of spiritual integrity, Jesus, the Lord God incarnate, who walked the earth with perfect alignment and total authority over the material world. He did not leak energy into doubt or fear. He knew his source. While Hill speaks of the philosophy of success, the life of Jesus demonstrates the perfection of spiritual law. Walk with that same level of conviction. Know that you are supported. When you seal the vessel, the accumulation begins. It may not happen overnight, but the laws of the universe are exact. If you stop the leak, the level must rise. It is physics. It is metaphysics. It is the law. If you're ready to stop drifting and start mastering your destiny, you are in the right place. We are building a community of manifestors who are applying these high-level truths to create real-world abundance. I invite you to subscribe to the Napoleon Hill Wealth Code channel right now. Click that button and join us. Don't let this be another video you watch and forget. Make this the moment you plug the hole. As Napoleon Hill famously said, determination is the beginning of the end of failure. Be determined today. Seal your mind, guard your energy, and watch as the world opens its vaults to you.